disposables as low as $10 and enjoy 25% off all pet products.
Generation V.
July 1st through 4th, experience monumental savings up to 33% off mods, e-liquid, with Duffy and more. Generation V with 16 Nebraska locations and a new location at 27th and Superior. GenerationV.com. Vapes contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine. There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Nebraska State Veterans Homes are here to serve veterans, their spouses, surviving spouses, and Gold Star parents. Join your fellow veterans and their families at one of our homes in Bellevue, Kearney, Norfolk, or Scottsbluff. With a sliding scale to determine your financial contribution, an excellent clinical team, and plenty of fun activities, our homes are the perfect retirement choice. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/homes. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Yes, it is. Jumping right in here on a Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in. Glad you're along with us here for the next couple hours and change. I'm Austin Norman. He is the 9-year NBA vet, the Husker Hall of Famer, the Florida Marlins minor leaguer. Relied on that a lot last segment. Eric Strickland.
Yes, sir.
Big thanks to Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul sponsoring the show. Strick, we just have a couple minutes here before we're going to take a break and get to Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald. We teased it at the end of Happy Hour. Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
There is going to come a point where he will do one or the other of pitching or hitting. Nick and Rico couldn't choose. Which do you think Shohei Ohtani does?
So my personal thought is when you're young and you're vibrant, like even for myself, right? When you're young and vibrant, you just feel you can do everything. You know, that's why I even took on the challenge of playing both basketball and baseball. Both are long seasons. They kind of overlap. Mm-hmm. That's tough. It's easier to do football to baseball than it is to do basketball and baseball. You're talking about 80-something games plus 108 something, 160-something game, right? Mm-hmm. So when you think about that, the mental strain that was so heavy on me coming out of baseball, I think it partially led me into a probation. So that's the thing I think that probably pitching would be the ultimate thing for him, as long as he can stay healthy. Right now, you're the youthful exuberance, the love, the passion of just loving to get up and hit. All of that's fun and fine and dandy until you understand what a practice and what spring training and what the drills and batting practice on top of having to run, because they have
in the heat of summer.
Yes. So they have things, pitchers have routines that they must do. Some of it is running around a certain amount. They have to run like 5-10 times around the stadium. Then they have to long toss, and then they have to do bullpen work, and then they have to do all these different things just for pitching alone. On top of that, hitting, you have to do BP. It ain't just going up and just hitting BP. It's a lot to it. So
it's a purpose.
It's a lot of stuff. It's BP, it's base running, it's secondary work. It's then being that he doesn't play in the field, so it's really just a lot of hitting, bunting, practicing on the bases, all of that stuff, man. Over time, you just think about a long career of that time, it's going to just wear on you. So I just think it's tough. I think it's really tough. I think so mentally being able to not only maximize, probably make more money than you would just being a hitting or a fielder alone. You're only going to pitch one time, 5 days, 6 days. Sit out there, relax your mind, let it concentrate, put your feet up, eat on some sunflower seeds and have a freaking great day and wait till your time. It's pretty cool.
Good way to live. I mean, look at the difference, like you're saying, in the contracts for the top tier starting pitchers versus DHs. There's no competition. Absolutely not. And that's where I'm curious to see what his next contract looks like. He's a free agent after this year. Is it a 10-year deal, 7, 8 to 10 year deal that'll take him through his mid to late 30s? Or does he sign a short-term deal with high, average annual value and then parlay that into one last contract? That will tell me a lot about his mindset.
So, you have Trout still for a little while longer. You have to look at it from a standpoint of an organization, right? It just depends. Financially, do they want to take on that burden? The Angels, to me, haven't been that kind of team to do that, right? So it's going to require, if you're going to do a long-term deal, it's probably going to require you to go to a Dodgers, a Yankees, a
Giants up the Bay,
maybe. You know what I mean? It's going to probably take you to do that. Now, I think he would be better off doing a shorter-term deal with the player option, continue to have the fun, enjoy the process, and then monitor it, and then continue to solidify yourself, and then make a decision as to kind of the pathway maybe that you want to take. I just don't think for long term you can mentally, bro. The mental part of it's the part for me.
That's where before the show we were talking too, and I asked what happens first. He physically breaks down from the work, or he mentally gets tired of doing one or the other, and you were immediately on the mental side.
The mental part of it. That just knowing what a natural day was, just in being in rookie and short season A, right? The day consisted of literally waking up, 6:45, 7 in the morning, getting on a bus, going to eat, and we always ate at a place called, I think, Bonanza, and they always had these little breakfast buffets. We ate there. We would go to the stadium. You get yourself dressed. Then you had either you had work in the batting cages with the guns, on the bases, in the field, batting practice, eat lunch. I mean, and I'm talking about this is all teamwork. All of this is happening. And then you go and eat lunch. You have about an hour and a half break. Come back, do batting practice. Go back, get showered, get in there, get yourself together and ready for the game. Play the game in the middle of high noon if you're in rookie ball, and they still play high noon games.
Yeah.
Or an evening game. And at that time, you're tired, you're wore out. You either got to get on a bus, ride. They're going to get on planes. Same thing. That mental anguish of just traveling. Me knowing in basketball, back-to-backs, what that was like. Like, people don't understand the mental anguish. Like, to me, professional sports is more mental than it is actually the physical part of it.
Fascinating. We'll keep diving into that as we get further in the show. We're going to take our first break here and talk to Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald, put a bow on the College World Series and a couple more things, maybe some Husker football with Evan next.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as free possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Biker with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. There are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
A few isolated thunderstorms possible this morning, then becoming sunny and hot, a high of 96. It will feel more like 100, a light north wind at 10. Just a few passing clouds tonight with a low of 70. A chance of scattered thunderstorms tomorrow, still quite warm with an afternoon high of around 93. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you thought of selling your business, you're probably wondering where to start. Call the experts at Transworld Business Advisors of Lincoln. With a database of over 450,000 buyers, we've got you handled. 402-413-1095.
Are you ready to upgrade your combine? Don't wait. Act now to choose from the widest selection of used combines at Acres Equipment. Acres, the nation's largest John Deere combine dealer, is offering 2.9% interest for 60 months on over 100 pre-owned combines. Go to acres.com to view a huge inventory of low-hour, late-model John Deere combines. Find what you like, and we'll deliver it to your farm for free. Acres, solutions for every field.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Beat the heat and make 4th of July truly monumental at Generation V.
Generation V.
This weekend only, Generation V has incredible deals that'll blow you away. Stock up on select disposables as low as $10 and enjoy 25% off all pet products.
Generation V.
July 1st through 4th, experience monumental savings up to 33% off mods, e-liquid, Delta 8, and more. Generation V with 16 Nebraska locations and a new location at 27th and Superior. GenerationV.com. Vapes contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Old School with DP&J.
I could think of Nebraska beating Oklahoma in a day where it was 1 versus 2, and that level is pretty high. But then in retrospect, historically what it reminded me of, the depth, the quality, the humanity that was on that team that just destroyed Florida.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. We're back here on the block, joined by Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald, who spent most the last couple of weeks in obviously College World Series. Evan, how are you doing today?
Hey, Austin. Yeah, doing well. You're right. It's this is like hard shift week for me, going from college baseball and the CWS back into football and recruiting, and there's always something, man. So it's been good.
Glad to hear it. We'll touch on football maybe a little bit at the end, but starting with the College World Series, LSU gets it done. First time in a while for the Tigers in Omaha. Florida staves off elimination in a big way in Game 2, but even before a great championship series, a lot of storylines. What are your biggest storylines and takeaways from this year's edition of the Greatest Show on Dirt?
Well, up until those last two games, it was all about the tight finishes and the one-run games. I mean, they had 8 of those, which tied a record. And, even the games that weren't right down to the end or single runs, like they were almost all were compelling late into the game. I mean, you had big strikeout performances. Paul Skeens showed out twice. Rhett Lauder from Wake Forest was great. You had, some star power in terms of guys that were hitting the ball well. And then, of course, in the last two games, you have a record 24 runs from Florida on Sunday and a record 24 hits from LSU on Monday. So, like, if you like pitching, if you like hitting, if you like good weather and food and Jello shots or whatever else, like it seemed like there was just a little bit of something for everybody at this particular series. And I think oftentimes the final couple of weeks are sort of the microcosm by which college baseball is judged. And over the last 10 years, we've seen College World Series that have had 3 home runs, which was way low. And finally this year, I mean, I think the final number was 35, which is a sweet spot. And so I think we really have found a good place right now in college baseball where there's offense, there is good pitching. Again, for a number of reasons, there's more depth at the college ranks than we've seen in a long time. And I thought it really played out just for some really compelling baseball over the course of the last couple of weeks.
For Nebraska baseball, 60 miles or so down the road in Lincoln, if you're Will Bolt, new addition to the staff, Rob Childress, Mike Sirianni coming up from Wichita, what do you take away to get Nebraska back in the postseason, conversation?
Well, I thought Jay Johnson, the LSU coach, had a really good thought about what it takes to make it and to win the College World Series. He said, maybe this has changed in the last 5 to 10 years, but you're not going to make it to that final weekend unless you have future Major League Baseball players, unless you have older guys who know what they're doing. And so I thought that was pretty spot on with just the recipe that it's going to take at this point. You need high-end talent that can, compete with the best nationally. And then the guys that maybe won't move on someday to the majors need to be older, need to know their roles, need to execute. And LSU absolutely fit the bill on that. And most of the teams, I would say, in Omaha fit the bill on that. You could probably point out multiple future MLBers on all those 8 teams that made it. So, when I look at what Nebraska's done the last couple of years, I thought they really learned from 22 into 2023 that they needed to get older and stay older. And we saw that in some of the portal additions that they made and just some of the roster, moves that came and went. But, the task is out there in front of them now. I mean, I think it would be hard to say at this moment who Nebraska's future major leaguers are on this roster, assuming Max Anderson and Bryce Matthews and Emmett Olson move on. Now it's time to find that next crop of guys, whether that's developing them, whether that's through the portal or out of high school or whatever. That's job one. Job two is, again, to find some older players. And I think they've done that in the portal again, finding some juniors and seniors and just veteran players to fill out this roster. And then, thirdly, I think pitching depth, that's clearly been a need for Nebraska. I think you watch any of these postseason tournament games and teams are just starved for arms that are reliable. I mean, you might have your ace, you might even have a full rotation, but come that 6th or 7th inning, for the most part, once you get past maybe your closer and maybe 1 or 2 other arms, there's just a lot of innings still to eat and to fill up. And so I think that's another big task for Nebraska is finding that pitching depth and a number of guys that they can trust in the midweek, in the 6th, in the 7th, whatever it might be, so they can at least contend to get to where they want to be.
When you talk about the depth of arms, that's something that the text line and I were going back and forth with from the LSU standpoint late last week. I was, pounding the table that they had to throw Paul Skeens at some point in that championship series. They don't, and they end up winning it anyways. Are you surprised LSU didn't use him at all?
Well, I mean, they couldn't use him in the opener. That was pretty clear. He had thrown 120 pitches 2 days earlier, so he wasn't going to be in that one. The Sunday game got out of hand pretty quickly, so in some ways that took him off the hook there. And then Monday, I think had that game played out differently, had Thatcher Hurd maybe given up some more runs to Florida and not settled in the way that he did, yeah, I think you would have seen Paul Skeens in some fashion, maybe in that Madison Bumgarner sort of duty that we saw from the World Series a number of years ago. I don't think he was ever going to start. I mean, if LSU was going to, they would have just gone ahead and started him on Monday. But yeah, I think if the game was close and things were going that way, then you probably would have seen him go from Hurd to Skeens midway through that game. And even if he gives you just a couple of innings, like this was something that their players and coaches said too, was like the psychological advantage of bringing in a guy like that, even for 2 innings, is pretty profound. Where if you're Florida, you're almost thinking, man, okay, well, let's try to foul off some pitches and get him out of this game in a couple of innings. So I think having that sort of ace in the hole maybe served them well, but it would have been interesting, man, because Paul Skeens may well be the number 1 overall pick in a couple of weeks in that major league draft. And there were a whole bunch of eyes on how LSU was going to handle that, given the workload that he had. So, in a lot of ways, Jay Johnson and their staff avoided, maybe potentially a pretty big debate by not having to use him because LSU's offense did what it did.
The other thing that interested me about Paul Skeens, and this ties into what we led off the show with a little bit here, I didn't realize until today that Paul Skeens was a John Olerud Award winner in his time at Air Force. And for those listeners who might not know, the John Olerud Award goes to the best two-way player in college baseball. Spencer Schwellenbach won it for Nebraska. But Evan, I bring that up because we see two-way players, pretty consistently in college, from Schwellenbach and Skeen. I mean, Brendan McKay, what he did with Louisville. But it's so rare at the major league level. I mean, McKay tried it all the way up through AAA, didn't go all that well eventually in Tampa, and he just became a position player, I believe. What is it about that jump from, college to the pros that there's such a disconnect that guys aren't able to do it at the same level?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's very few examples. I mean, Shohei Ohtani is a unicorn in that respect. And of course, the original two-way guy was Babe Ruth back in the 20s and 30s. But like that absolutely is the rare exception there. So, I mean, it's hard enough to do in college, right? Like you only see a handful of guys do it at that level and be good enough to do it both ways. And it just gets harder the further you're up the ladder you go in the majors. I mean, everything is so specialized. I mean, just to be a pitcher in the majors and the way you have to scout lineups and the way you have to be pinpoint with your command. I mean, that's enough to be a full-time job and to train and to get yourself ready. And then to additionally scout opposing pitchers and work on your swing mechanics and have your body in shape to do something that's quite a bit different, honestly, than throwing a ball is just crazy. And so, like, to see what Ohtani did the other night, even, dominating on the mound, hitting 2 home runs, apparently with a cracked fingernail and getting pulled after that, like, it just doesn't happen. I mean, it's just so rare. And I think the other kind of remarkable part about it, too, is you have to be sort of lucky with the health, right? Like you see pitchers on their own get hurt so often and hitters too. Like you just kind of wear down over the course of a marathon season. So to be able to take care of your body as well as do what it takes mentally is just a trait very few are blessed with. Jack Caglione from Florida would be another example of that guy. He hit 31 home runs and he was hitting 95, 96 as Florida's third starter this year. But there just aren't a lot of guys that are mentally and physically able to do what, top two-way players can do.
And Caglione, I mean, did it all year, but then the biggest game, he gets thrown out there on the mound to start. Great first inning, all fell apart in the second inning. Keep his bat in the lineup. He goes 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts in that game. And obviously, no one on Florida was hitting the way they did, on Sunday, on Monday, the way they did on Sunday. But I think that speaks even more to you can be that talented, but sometimes even in the biggest moments, it's simpler. And that's what sports is about, right? Simplifying in those biggest moments.
Sure. Yeah. Like muscle memory and just sort of knowing that, like you always hear coaches say, I think it's probably true. You don't necessarily rise to the occasion, but you fall back on your training. And so, yeah, if your training is as a hitter, that's a little more simple than your training both ways. And hey, what's my throwing mechanics? How are those looking versus my swing mechanics? Am I thinking too much? Like there's just so much more stuff, so many more variables that you have to work through. And then, yeah, you add in that additional factor of hey, you have 25,000 in this stadium watching you, plus an ESPN audience, plus the stakes. Yeah, I mean, there are all sorts of things that can sort of gum up, what you've been doing all season. So there's no doubt. I mean, it's challenging from so many respects, and that's why so few people can do it.
We're talking with Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald here on the Allo VIP line during On the Block. To Husker football for a sec, Evan. The news that came out at noon or slightly before, Carter Nelson of Ainsworth announces his commitment to Nebraska. We had the Bellevue West trio earlier, and then now Carter Nelson. Where do you rank Nelson's commitment in terms of importance to this recruiting class among the in-state guys?
Yeah, it's way up there. I mean, there's no doubt he's by most recruiting sites or metrics, he's going to be the headliner of the class at this point. And there are so many reasons for that. I mean, if you want to look at the offers, you can do that. And the fact that he says no to Georgia and Notre Dame and Alabama and most of the SEC. If you wanted to look at just what he brings in his own merits, I mean, he's one of the most explosive athletes in the country for the last, 14 months or so. He's been a national recruit because he can high jump 7 feet. And that's been the great equalizer in his recruitment as a guy who's an 8-man player in North Central Nebraska. That's the thing that really drew coaches to him, was that physical ability that is going to be there regardless of the classification that you play against. And if you talk to him, he's a solid kid, very team oriented. So he's got the intangibles as well. How Nebraska wants to use that tight end position. It can be so versatile. I mean, they like their guys to be inline blockers as well as pass catchers, as well as maybe move out wide as receivers in different times. And I think Nelson at 6'5" can certainly be that. I mean, he's going to probably add, many pounds of muscle to his frame before things are all said and done. I think he's 210 pounds or something like that. So he's got some growth to do in that respect too, but it's a major addition. I mean, a guy who's in the state, top 100 national player from the town of Ainsworth. It just doesn't happen. If you're Nebraska, you can't let some of those other programs pull a guy like that out of state. And credit to Matt Rule and his staff. I mean, they made the trip up there a number of times. Nelson's probably been to Lincoln, I would think, close to a dozen times over the years on game day visits and different things. So he was very familiar with the program. And then, the other, I think, thing that played into it, having talked to him about it, was this is sort of that time of the year when these recruits that are going to a school really start to develop those bonds. And so he was in Lincoln for his official visit last weekend and really was able to connect with those guys. And that's where the dreams start happening, and they start speculating and kind of calling their shot on what they can do together over the course of the next few years. And I think that was part of it too. So, add it all up together, and Nebraska's got a guy who is invested in the program, who's got the physical abilities, those intangible traits, and it should be, a lot of fun to see how his career goes as a Husker.
With the big caveat being, all these players and the new coaching staff, obviously have to prove it on the field that the recruiting wins turn into actual wins in the wins column. You have to give a tip of the cap to Garrett McGuire and Bob Wager for keeping these guys in state. That's a huge first test to pass as, a new coach in Garrett McGuire and a, first time out of Texas coach in Bob Wager.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, yes, Bob Wager, he's not going to be able to point to his resume as a college coach because he hasn't been a college coach. He's been a high school coach forever in the state of Texas. And so you have to, attract recruits based on something other than track record in college. And, having talked with him a few times, it's pretty clear he's, got the personality and the character and everything that you could want. It'll be fascinating to see how Nebraska tight ends develop under him, because the fact of the matter is they had a pretty good tight ends coach in Sean Beckton previously. Of all the struggles that Nebraska has had the last handful of years, tight end development has been one of those bright spots when you think about Travis Vokolek and Austin Allen and Jack Stoll and some of the players that have come before. So it's actually been a pretty successful position for them. The McGuire piece I think is pretty interesting too, and maybe even more pertinent with guys like David Hall and Isaiah McMorris who committed. I mean, those guys, have said repeatedly that, they can relate to a guy like Garrett McGuire, who's, still 24 or so. He talks like them. He's got the high energy, son of a coach. So he's very cerebral too in that way. And so, I think as much as Nebraska's had struggles keeping some of the top in-state players around in recent cycles, those guys were clearly top priorities for this staff. And, again, in the end, they were strategic about it. They were, they personalized, I think, their sales pitches to these players. It wasn't about keeping them because they were in-state guys, but because of what they could bring to this program. And I think that resonated with, those additions out of Omaha, and I think with Carter Nelson as well.
He's Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald with us here on the Allo VIP line. Evan, I know you said you're getting back into football mode, but stay in baseball mode for another week and a half or so. Get Max and Bryce and Emmett Olson drafted. We'll look forward to your write-ups on that and then following along during football season. Thanks as always, Evan.
Thanks, Austin. We'll see you.
Once again, Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald with us here. We'll bring back in the Husker Hall of Famer, the 9-year NBA vet, the man, the myth, the legend, Eric Strickland. Plenty more to get to on the baseball conversation with Shohei Ohtani, a couple other thoughts. Paulo Banchero spurning Team Italy, and text line. Couple things I want you to let us know. Number one, how long is Shohei Ohtani's next contract? How many years? And where does he sign? Drop your team predictions and contract lengths 402-464-5685. And get ready. We'll be going over the most unbreakable records in sports, including the number of Jell-O shots consumed by your College World Series champion LSU Tiger fans. We'll do that and more as we continue here on the block.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-9462.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this summer. Check out their new Keen and Tiva brand sandals for hiking and Olukai sandals for sitting by the pool. Plus, they're stocked up on Hayden's to catch you up on the latest shoe fashion. They also have shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Aetrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Are you ready to upgrade your combine? Don't wait. Act now to choose from the widest selection of used combines at Acres Equipment. Acres, the nation's largest John Deere combine dealer, is offering 2.9% interest for 60 months on over 100 pre-owned combines. Go to acres.com to view a huge inventory of low-hour, late-model John Deere combines. Find what you like, and we'll deliver it to your farm for free. Acres, solutions for every field.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
If you thought of selling your business, you're probably wondering where to start. Call the experts at Transworld Business Advisors of Lincoln. With a database of over 450,000 buyers, we've got you handled. 402-413-1095.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-9462.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A few isolated thunderstorms possible this morning. Then becoming sunny and hot, a high of 96. It will feel more like 100. A light north wind at 10. Just a few passing clouds tonight with a low of 70. A chance of scattered thunderstorms tomorrow. Still quite warm with an afternoon high of around 93. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here on the block for just a minute before we take another break for hour two. We go to the Starter Heyman text line. Sorry to look up above me. I know what it's called. Notorious B.I.B. A couple things. First of all, on Shohei Ohtani, which we'll get back into in hour two. Notorious B.I.B. wants him in Chicago on a 5-year deal. Good luck with that.
Good luck with that. To me, no slight to any of my Illinoisans. Is that what they call them? Illinoisans?
We're going with it.
Chicago is probably not the place I'd want to be right now if I'm an athlete trying to come in. It's just, it wouldn't be my favorite destination. Let me just say that, with how crazy it is out there right now.
The other thing the Notorious B.I.B. asks is, do you think NIL and transfer portal affect baseball as much as football? Transfer portal, absolutely. I mean, it's across sports. There's not really a sport I think it doesn't impact in some way, shape, or form. The NIL one is a curious question, though, Strick, because when we think of NIL, we think football and men's basketball for the most part. A lot of women's sports. I mean, gymnastics has high earning. Volleyball is climbing up. Softball, even.
Yeah, somebody in LSU's making a boatload of cash over. What's her name?
Livy Dunn.
Oof,
she was at the College World Series, by the way.
Yeah. She drives a Lamborghini truck. by the way.
Oh my gosh.
300 something K car.
Good for her.
Yeah.
She's doing it right. But in terms of NIL, this is where I think baseball has a unique relationship with the money aspect, because we know about, NIL versus pay for play in football. We know the NBA and college basketball. I mean, college basketball's had its fair share of scandals in that, but you used to be able to completely skip college basketball, get that NBA money right up front, prep to pro. Baseball has a weird balance in between where you can get drafted out of high school, but turn the money down, go play in college. Then you have to wait 3 years. There's no way NIL money is matching MLB draft money.
No way.
Even if you're
it depends. It depends on where in the draft.
Maybe some SEC teams can match a 10th round and later offer in some cases. But again, that's over 3 years, not the right away. This is what I'm getting from MLB. Yeah.
For me, if you're at a certain spot, it just depends on what your passion is, right? If your passion, sometimes you may be drafted lower in the draft and you're betting on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a high stakes bet on me. Or you can go to college and enjoy the experience of, honing in the craft, getting better, maybe tightening up if you want more velocity. Maybe there's some things with your swing mechanics that you want to iron out. Yeah, I could go there. But let me be honest. It is one of the hardest things to do, contrastly, to hit with a wooden bat and to go from an aluminum bat. Because on an aluminum bat, the thing jumps. It just, if you hit sweet spot, you're jumping.
Mm-hmm.
You have to hit sweet spot with a wood bat or it's not going anywhere.
Right.
And I thought the pain of hitting off the end of the bat with an aluminum bat was really terrible.
Not comfortable.
But boy, oh boy, with a wood one, ooh. Playing in a cold day and you get jammed, fisted, where you
no, sir.
it is no bueno. So it is hard though, because you literally have to train yourself with your swing where you drop the handle on the bat. Mm-hmm. You got to learn how to hit inside out and come down inside so that you get that the meat of the head
sweet.
Onto the sweet spot. That's a training mechanism that takes time. Like it just doesn't happen overnight. So I can understand why some people may want to go. It could be different reasons for the experience, for honing and getting better at certain areas of their craft. Maybe footwork is not bad. Maybe you're an average guy in the outfield with an arm. You want to get stronger so that you get in a weight program and be able to become better. And you can move up, but sometimes you don't.
Right.
That's the risk.
You plateau. You get stuck.
Yeah.
Good stuff there in hour one of On the Block. 402-464-5685, the Starter Heyman text line. Also, if you're watching on the stream, you're included in this conversation. Definitely drop a comment. Wherever you're watching, we will see it. It pops up. So Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, please join in on this discussion as well. A couple things to get to in hour number two. Shohei Ohtani, where does he end up and why? This is something Strick and I were going over a little bit last break. Fascinating conversation on California's exit tax that's new. So we'll get into that, what it could mean for Shohei Ohtani, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, guys like that. And then also the most unbreakable records in sports. We'll get to that and more. Hour two on the block comes your way next with 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Beat the heat and make 4th of July truly monumental at Generation V.
Generation V.
This weekend only, Generation V has incredible deals that'll blow you away. Stock up on selected disposables as low as $10 and enjoy 25% off all pet products.
Generation V.
July 1st through 4th, experience monumental savings up to 33% off mods, e-liquid, Delta 8, and more. Generation V with 16 Nebraska locations and a new location at 27th and Superior. GenerationV.com. Vapes contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Easier, come to Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and our big summer sales event is underway this month. Right now, get 0.9% interest rates. Yes, you heard right. 0.9% APR on select new Chevrolet and GMC vehicles, plus a $1,500 trade-in bonus on select Silverados and Sierras. You put all that together with some big Coppell discounts, and you have a tremendous buying experience. So stop on into the dealership or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Save money on energy-efficient equipment with the LES Sustainable Energy Program. Nearly half of the financial incentives are still available for qualifying projects. View incentives and learn more at les.com/SEP.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate. Guys, it's that time again. Another 10-week challenge at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is starting on July 8th. I joined Farrell's a little over a year ago, and with their help, I've lost over 125 pounds and can confidently say I'm in the best shape of my life. The 10-week challenge combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching in a way that is approachable and achievable for any skill level. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the cost of enrollment. Head to theticketfm.com and click on the banner on the homepage to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 70th and Vine or 40th and Yankee Hill.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Ticket Water Cooler.
I feel like sometimes when we have Hall of Fames, and this is no disrespect to Frank or Gary Pinkel, who got in last year, the longtime Missouri coach. Shouldn't there be a different Hall of Fame for like Gary Pinkel and Frank Solich
like
and
the Hall of
Tom Osborne
the
and Bob,
Hall of
Bobby
really
yeah,
good.
Right. But what, like you said, the distinction usually is first ballot, or unanimous or whatever. So that's usually kind of the distinction that you can make there.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. You're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Hour 2 of On the Block on a Wednesday. Happy hump day, y'all. About halfway through the week. Thanks for tuning in with us here. With you for another hour here on 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Stay engaged. Keep commenting on the show. We really appreciate your engagement and involvement. Dear Blockheads, also appreciate Charles and Mary Ellen's. Back open today.
Back open today.
Get yourself some. 27th and Pine Lake here in Lincoln. All right, Strick. We're going to pick up where we left off. Shohei Ohtani playing for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And that's for this season. His contract's running out. Signed a 1-year, $30 million deal to stay with the Angels for this year. Amid trade speculation, would they get rid of him, try to get something for him if he's not going to re-sign? Plenty of teams, I'm sure, would be interested in a Shohei Ohtani trade despite what it would take to get him. But it seems like the Angels are going to keep him for this year. Then the question becomes, are they able to re-sign him after the season? The good thing for Shohei Ohtani would be he'd get a lot of money wherever he's going to go.
He's going to hit the bank.
That he is. What might hurt Shohei Ohtani is if he leaves the state of California. Why would that be?
Yeah, I was, being that I have friends there, I've lived there for a period. I got a chance to see some of the proposals and implementations of some of the most illmatic, if that's a word, and it's not.
It is now.
Some of the most illmatic things that California is implementing as far as legislation. It is some of the moments that you have, but this is one of them. And that moment is they are implementing or vowing to implement an exit tax. What you've been finding is that a lot of huge corporations, a lot of Silicon Valley has now kind of shifted and began to go to places like Austin. Other companies are moving out and going to different locations and setting their bases in other places, some in Texas, some in Arizona, some in Vegas, a lot of different places that they're making moves. The draconian methods that California is implementing is an exit tax, as if the United States is not a United States. Like I have a contract with you, California, that if I walk out, there's a no live in another state clause. Like it's crazy. But that can be something that I want to throw out there to you, the listeners, and everybody is who else does that affect? The businesses are kind of hightailing out quick exit strategies, trying to get to greener pastures as far as how to do business. But if you're an athlete and the decision now that you have to make for you, your family, and livelihood depends on an exit tax, you are the corporation as an NBA player, an NFL player, a MLB player, an NHL player, soccer player, MLS. You are the corporation. It is Corporation Eastrick Incorporated. It is LeBron James Incorporated. It is Shohei Ohtani Incorporated. You being that means if you exit, who gets hit?
You get hit.
I think that's crazy. Now, I can only speak to this. And this is just personal information. This is not an exit tax situation. This is a being traded situation. Now, one thing, if you do not know, and this will be a little bit of inside information. We don't just get paid by the season. Yes, we get paid every 2 weeks like everybody else. But we get paid by the state. So wherever you play, you have to pay taxes for that state. So this is why playing in Texas was absolutely phenomenal. The check was long. Whenever my check showed up, I was like, oh yeah, this is tasty. But good gosh, when I got traded to New York, I looked at my check and was like, where the hell did it go? Like, wait a minute. I had to start asking questions.
Right? Where's the second part?
Yeah, I'm starting to ask questions like, are y'all doing something shady? Did y'all? And come to the realization that everywhere we play. So our tax guy have to do our taxes for every state, right?
That's insane.
So in New York alone, so this is just kind of an idea. In New York alone, it was a bridge tax, a borough tax, tax for the oil. It is freaking crazy, right? So I can only imagine if you're an athlete playing ball in California right now, the decisions you would want to make, and even consider, do I take the 30 plus million or do I sign for 29.99999? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. You got to think about it like that. Then I think about Golden State. Draymond, you just opted out of 20 something. Do you expect to get more? Because if you do, be ready. Because if you exit the state, or do you do a sign and trade? If you get signed and trade, do you have to pay the tax? That's something to think about. Sutter Heyman text line, is that wild? Is that crazy? What you think? 402-464-5685.
That's crazy. I go back to what you said, too, about the
highway robbery. Unnamed texter, 3784. Highway robbery. California exit tax is theft. That is straight. That's like walking into your bank, robbing you like they do on Ocean's 11 or something like that, and you have no clue who the heck just went into your account.
And you have to say thank you.
Yeah, just say, yeah. Oh, yeah, thank you.
Thank you for taking my money. I really appreciate it.
Go
Between
ahead.
the California exit tax and the toll roads,
God.
they be coming for those
They want
dollars.
They want your paper.
Do they ever?
They want your paper, and they don't care how they get it. They want it.
Back to the trade thing.
Yeah.
As an athlete, you have such little control over that in most cases. Like, unless you're a star and you can say, trade me here, don't trade me there.
Yeah.
I'd be
Or your Bradley Bill.
Or right. I'd be fascinated to know how that works. Like, if you were traded, like, even though, like you said, you are acting like essentially as your own corporation as an individual, if you don't have control over you being traded, do you still have to pay the exit tax? I would hope not. Kind of sounds like you do if you're making 30 mil.
They don't give a gosh.
And they,
you know what?
I do know, and they've proven that. The funniest part about this, as it relates to Shohei Ohtani, this man signed a 1-year contract worth $30 million. Why is that important, Strick? Why is that important, you might ask?
Why is that important? Also, I know you're going to tell me.
I'm going to tell you. This is from flclaw.net. Understanding the California exit tax says, the California exit tax proposes that if you or your business have been a full-time resident of the state of California and you make
how much?
$30 million per year, any money that you make from business income or investments made in the state would be taxed at a rate of 0.4%. For Shohei Ohtani, that's $1,200,000 on the table.
Just right off the top.
If he made $1 less, he makes $1,199,999 more.
That's crazy. That's tomfoolery at its best.
Mm-hmm.
It's the craziest thing I've ever heard. But listen, you've got to ask the question: why are all of these corporations leaving? So if I'm a player and I'm in California, I'm trying to hightail it out ASAP. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to, the minute my contract's over, I'm trying to be gone.
Even if it costs me $1 million, I'm out.
I'm trying to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, real talk. I'm not even playing. Like, because, man, I just told you how it was in New York, and that was back in the 2000s. It's not better. It's only gotten worse. So you can imagine the taxes that they're paying, the expenses. I mean, freaking gas is almost $7. It's like $6 and almost 30 cents a gallon.
Good grief.
And you have to drive, Austin.
Yeah.
They don't have great transit systems out there. So they don't have toll. I mean, well, I don't know. I don't think Cali, I've seen it. They might.
Don't give them ideas. Don't give them ideas.
But my gosh, that's the craziest thing about it, bro. I feel bad. I feel bad for those. This is why I think LeBron's not going anywhere.
He made the choice to move in. He is not making the choice to move out, given what he's making.
I don't think so that solidified, learning that information solidified it for me that there are some people that are unstuck. They ain't going nowhere.
If you're the owner of the Warriors, the Lakers, Clippers, San Francisco Giants, Angels, Dodgers, Kings, I suppose you have to throw in that, or even the football teams. You look at the Chargers, you look at the Raiders, the Rams. are you trying to work with the the state legislature to say, hey, we know you need your money, but not like this, because this is hurting us. We drive a lot of revenue in this state. We bring in a lot of dollars for you in tourism and create a lot of good, economic opportunities for people. If you're going to, punish people that we trade out, they're not going to want to come here to begin with. That hurts you down the road. Can we figure something out?
You would hope that those discussions are happening. I don't know anything that's implemented in collective bargaining agreements. I can just only tell you that I'm sure that's something that they're thinking about, because I'm telling you, if I'm a player and I get offered a contract, there are certain places that I literally at this point would be like, I would take less money to be here. Because I know it would go longer.
Because I get more of it.
I know it would go longer. And so that's the scary thing about these. I mean, sometimes they're not looking at the economics. The highway robbery aspect of it is, and I'm going to be honest. I think government in itself is the worst business on
its own
earth.
Thing.
I mean, I think I want to say over the last 20 years, they've had almost like 7 or 8 where they, what's it called?
Defaults?
No, where they
shutdowns?
No, they
debt ceiling.
Debt ceiling increases.
Yeah.
Which is, there's no business that can do that. That can just say, oh yeah, we're at a deficit. Let's do a debt ceiling. Just go, just print more money and just go. So these businesses can't do that. They don't have that option.
No.
There's other. I mean, let's just be real about it. Let's be talking real. I mean, because I was on Retalk Facts last night, so sometimes it crosses over on Wednesday. Let's be real, Austin. When you're thinking about the business of economics of sports, it doesn't just consist of doing business, guys showing up, paying for tickets, coming into the games, into the arenas, yay, have a great time and go home. It's not solely about that, right? Let's be honest about the mistake. I think it's a mistake that Budweiser made. Say what you will about it. It's affecting them economically right now, right? Because of whatever people feel, people have a right to buy tickets, not buy tickets, buy product, or not buy product. They have that inalienable right to make that decision for themselves, right? So you're seeing certain things that are happening in economics. Let's just take another one, for example. People are all up in Chicago, all up in the air about the fact that Walmart's leaving certain places. Well, when you're losing money because you're in there freaking walking out of the building with TVs and shelves and stacks of free, who's going to want to stay and do business? No one.
Nobody.
So this is part of that whole perspective. People, if they don't want to come and play, people don't want to come and watch. Guess what you got to do? You got to raise ticket prices because you got to cut. So there's all types of stuff.
And if you raise prices, people are going to want to come less. It adds on top of itself.
It all compounds. So that's why I'm saying all of this matters. This craziness, all of that stuff matters. It may not show up in the immediate 1 year, next year type of situation, but boy, oh boy, wait just a little bit longer and watch how it starts to take effect. I guarantee you that Mark Cuban, when he made the decision not to run it back with some of those guys, he's paid for it. You haven't seen him back in a run like that since 2011. They haven't made a run since because what? People talk. People don't want to come play for you because they have a perception of what they think you are as a business, and that's what happens in sports economics.
Here's another crazy thing as it relates to the Californian economics, especially with free agents, and I think even minor league players coming up. You look at the tax brackets. You were talking about a little bit, in New York versus in Texas.
Oh gosh, I still get nightmares. There's a show on Netflix called I've been watching called The Sandman. I'm having Sandman dreams right now about
Spooky
how much
season.
checks were short.
In California, the top tax bracket is for anyone making $714,400 or more.
What's the tax on them?
9.8%.
Oh, good God.
1 in every $10. 1/10 going back to say. Here's the thing, Strick.
Good gosh.
The NBA rookie minimum salary, $935K. They're paying. Vet minimum, 3 times that, they're paying. Flip over to baseball. Every player on the Dodgers active roster, the Giants active roster, the Los Angeles Angels active roster,
San Diego Padres.
Padres too. I don't have them pulled up. I just got those 3 first.
Okay.
Is making $720,000
minimum.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
That's above 714.
So
Their top
1/10 of that dollar is gone.
72,000 out the window.
Out the window, right off top.
Mm-hmm.
Before you even get a chance to smell it or eat some Mary Ellen's food for the soul.
Mm-hmm. Gone. Don't even see it. Mm-hmm.
So that's crazy.
That's why I could see 2 things for Shohei Ohtani as we tie this back together. Number 1, he stays in Los Angeles to avoid having to pay any exit tax.
For now. Let the contract in. Don't do a sign and trade. Don't do any of that. Just get the hell on and hit the border the minute your contract's out. Yeah, I'm out.
Or exactly, you just leave. You know, you say,
no, I don't want nothing. I love you guys. Angels, you've been great. You let me do my thing. I appreciate you. I'm out of here.
Rangers, here I come. Astros, here I come. Marlins, here I come. Rays, here I come. Anyone.
Pick your pick. Outside of New York Yankees.
Right. Or Chicago.
Sorry,
Notorious
sorry,
B.I.G.
Chicago.
Probably not happening. Here's the last aspect of this that I would be fascinated to know. Does Shohei Ohtani have California residence? Because this exit tax only applies to citizens. So is he here?
If you're in a state for a certain period of time, and usually now this could vary depending on the state, but usually it's within a 90-day plus time frame, you are registered as a citizen of the state. That's why in the NBA, if you're, you can kind of work it because you're playing outside of the states. But it hurts you if you're in Texas because you're playing also those games in Houston, San Antonio. So you can't do it. There's certain places though that you can kind of work it because you're going to be out of the state long enough to not have to take that residency. It kind of works off like that. But I do have something for you.
Yeah, drop it.
This is a great question. Unnamed texter 5704 says, but what if you're drafted by a team in California? You have zero choice. You're absolutely right. You're butt naked. Just get naked. Hey, like Puffy used to say, take that. You just got to take it. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
You got to take it. That's crazy. That's a great question, though, but you're right. It's unfortunate. You could pull a Kobe Bryant. Try to, at least. Kobe Bryant said, I am not playing for the Charlotte Hornets. I don't care if you draft me. You better do something about it because I'm not coming.
Eli Manning with the Chargers.
Yeah.
Did that to get to the Giants. So fascinating stuff. Curious to see how that plays out. I mean, even with, Draymond Green, what does he do? Klay Thompson, I mean, he's been in the rumors. Probably just goes down to LA. Not a big deal, but Jordan Poole, what happens with him? Is that boy paying that extra tax on $123 million? And let's not pretend like DC's cheap either, Strick.
Facts. DC's one of them too. Good gosh. Yeah, there's a few of them out there. Philly's one too. Good gosh, yeah. But anyway, I just felt that was interesting, and thank you guys for on the Sutter Heyman text. I weren't able to get to everybody's questions, but unnamed texter also said 9888. Baseball is a young man's sport. This goes back and references the conversation we're having about whether or not you played it 3 years in college. Baseball is a young man's sport. If you get the opportunity, you go as soon as you can. No one wants seniors in college. I think that's changed. I think that's changed dramatically. And here's the reason why that's changed dramatically is I can say the young part of it bodes better for when you had more rounds in the draft because you can take a chance on a kid. Right.
When you had 50, now you got 20.
Yeah. You could take a chance. You could say, okay, yeah, we'll take a look at it for a few years, see if he pans out. Oh, okay. If not, we can move on. But guys that have shown and proved that they can handle the maturity, the strength, so they're coming in a little bit more ready-made than actually. I absolutely agree with you, though. I think if you're that good and they know you're that good. Like, for example, they were trying to move me up in 2 years to be in AA by the time I went. And I only play. I've never had a full spring. So if you know that they're gonna push you in that form like that, it's worth it because you're gonna be there longer. But if not, I mean, if you're King Griffey Jr. or if you're guys like that where you're just a prodigy, Barry Bonds type, or if you're a prodigy, like they know. Like, even when Alex Rodriguez came out, he was out around the same time I came out. If you know he's like that, yeah. Go get him. Go get him early. Yeah.
Right. Here's the flip side to that, just really quick here before we move on here on the block. Would you rather play 3 years in the SEC or deal with bus rides? The low minors aren't glamorous.
They are not glamorous.
So the older
8,
you
10,
are,
12 bus hours, depending on where you're playing. Yes, sir. No, I would advise go to college.
Play 3 years, and that way you're through the minors in 2 or 3 years instead of 4, 5, 6 years.
Facts.
I'm just saying there's that aspect you have to keep in mind as well. Great stuff in segment 1 here on the block. Keep this momentum rolling. We are going to move on to the unbreakable records in sports. We've got a couple comments that we'll get to on the text line. Again, commenters, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, drop your thoughts as well. We'll get to those as we continue here on the block.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. But there are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Summer, and the best place in town for shuffleboard. Come on Wednesdays and learn from some of the best players in town for the shuffleboard corner for just $5 and get your first drink on the house. Come on Sundays for open house league all day starting at 11 a.m. and enjoy $3 tall boys and $3 wells. Happy hour is every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and you are always welcome to bring in your own food. Arnold's Tavern in the heart of Havelock.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-9462.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this summer. Check out their new Keen and Tiva brand sandals for hiking and Olukai sandals for sitting by the pool. Plus, they're stocked up on Hey Dudes to catch you up on the latest shoe fashion. They also have shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Guys, it's that time again. Another 10-week challenge at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is starting on July 8th. I joined Farrell's a little over a year ago, and with their help, I've lost over 125 pounds and can confidently say I'm in the best shape of my life. The 10-week challenge combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching in a way that is approachable and achievable for any skill level. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the cost of enrollment. Head to theticketfm.com and click on the banner on the homepage to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaving at 70th and Vine or 40th and Yankee Hill. Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of their funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carry out, or schedule catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products, are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at premierdw.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
A few isolated thunderstorms possible this morning, then becoming sunny and hot, a high of 96. It will feel more like 100, a light north wind at 10. Just a few passing clouds tonight with a low of 70. A chance of scattered thunderstorms tomorrow, still quite warm, with an afternoon high of around 93. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the block. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland with you another half an hour or so here on a Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in. Really good stuff so far all show. Big thanks again to Evan Blaine for joining us in hour number one. Just got done talking some free agency California tax ramifications for Shohei Ohtani. Dude's fantastic. What a player, what a talent. Getting robbed to some degree by the state he lives in, but that's okay. Who didn't get shorted in their careers? Who set some unbreakable records? One of them, Strick, the reason I came up with this topic or thought about it was by looking at the final Jello shot numbers for LSU baseball. The Tigers end up with 68,000, I believe, Jello shots in Omaha.
Ooh.
Final. Well,
I think wasn't the owner that bought like what a whole like 30,000 or something? The LSU, well, he was like got
some numbers on that. So the Raising Cane's
that
owner,
was it.
Todd Graves bought 6,000.
Okay.
Someone named Shane Morrison, who also runs some restaurants, bought 6,001. That's just put the ruler away, I guess. And then an LSU NIL booster, Gordon McKernan, bought 8,888 Jello shots. Yeah. So that right there is 20,000 of them. But even without them, LSU is still north of 40,000 as fans, which blows the previous record out of the water. The previous record, Strick, 18,777 from Ole Miss. You're doubling and change the old record for LSU fans. I'm going to say that's untouchable. I'm going to say that's untouchable.
You're going to vow that's untouchable? I don't think so. I think there's people that are just that would see that and would be crazy enough to just say, you know what? Let me just say this. I believe that if the Nebraska Cornhuskers got in, that it would be like somebody from Huddle, and then it'll be like somebody from the NIL stuff.
Oh, 1890.
No. Who does the
Open Doors?
Open Doors. It'll be somebody like them, right? That'll just come together and be like, "Yo, we're in, baby. We're gonna just blow this record out." That I could see it. I could see if Nebraska or somebody got in, they would go for it.
68,888. The official total.
There was a lot of people that were twisted.
Bayou Bengals is BUYOU. Bayou Bengals.
There was that. Now here's one that I think that probably will not be broken is the Emmitt Smith record.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being is because of the change of the game. And I personally don't think it's going to go backwards and ever go back to a running
league,
a running style of a league. I just don't think that's going to happen. It's not sexy. It isn't fun. Everybody loves the pass interference or the non-pass interference, the deep ball, basically what they call mossing, people getting mossed. They love that stuff. It's not sexy to run between the tackles. It is when you need the first down and you need to run the clock or whatever the case may be, but it's not sexy. So I don't see that one being broken. And also, even though just the combination, even though that the league has become a passing league, I don't foresee anybody breaking Jerry Rice's record.
Really?
I don't see it.
I do.
I don't think that people stay long enough for that. I don't think like you got to think about it. He had 14 years of over 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
I think receivers are great. I think they have a high ceiling. They have peaks. Like even in the greatness of what Julio Jones was in the time that he was a Moss type of guy. 13,000.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the current. He's the current closest. That's another 10,000 yards. And he's on the what?
Way down.
On the way down. I just don't see with new guys coming up. Jerry was a one for a long time. For dang near 14 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
He was a one.
Mm-hmm.
Probably to the tail end of it, he became a two. You know what I mean?
Right. But with an innovative offense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's why I don't see it. But it's possible. I still think it's one that's touchable.
I think it might not be probable, but I think it's possible.
Yeah,
given that the
possible.
NFL is shifting, given that they added another game to the regular season.
Those do help.
But I think you're onto something in that it's not going to be, an athletic freak or a Marvel, a Moss type of guy. It's going to be more a Jerry Rice style where you're a technician, you're smooth, and your body allows you to last that long.
Yeah. That's where I would see it. That is one of the ones that is possible, but yet, it's one that I just don't know about.
The touchdown record is absolutely getting broken by some.
Oh, somebody's gonna get that.
Yeah,
I think so.
Mahomes?
Again, somebody on the text line. Who was it? Somebody on the text line threw out Cy Young. I have to agree with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know who you are. I think the ones that they threw on the text line, unnamed texter 5704, also threw out Cal Ripken. I think those are I don't think that Cal Ripken was uniquely special. And another one was like AC Green, where these guys just they're with load management and all these things. And yes, let me take a day off. There's just not a lot of guys that just want to stay the course and just stick it out. I just don't see that.
And even if there are guys like that want to, their head coaches, their managers give them a day off because, you probably need one.
Yeah.
That's just the day and age.
Yeah.
I think baseball is fascinating when it comes to these sort of discussions because like Nolan Ryan's strikeout record isn't getting touched.
Yeah.
Because he did it for so long through that many innings. Guys are, striking out batters at a comparable rate to what Nolan Ryan is, but their careers don't last.
Not that long.
No.
Not that long.
Baseball's changed so much.
I agree.
The different eras.
I agree.
Some of these records are untouchable for different reasons.
Like even for like Cy Young.
Yes,
Ricky
Cy Young,
Henderson.
Ricky stolen bases.
Yeah. I agree. Definitely Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh my gosh.
There's no question. There's no one in the NBA that could even touch Michael Jordan in what he did in the playoff runs that he made, averaging like 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one in the NBA that's going to average for a freaking season as he did in 61-62 of 50.4 games, to include no one's ever touching the 100-point game that Wilt Chamberlain. And this goes back to what I think DP was talking about. Like, we literally forget about Wilt and just how he was, dominant he was. There's no one touching 100 points, and there's no one touching 50 a game. And the record that he has in rebounds, assists, and I just don't think no one can do that. It's just not going to happen.
Not a record, but a milestone here from Mississippi Mud Dog. Will we ever see another player hit 700 home runs again? I think we do.
I think it's possible.
Albert Pujols just did it for his career. He ends up with 703, so just snuck over it. 2020 and 2021 weren't great years for him. He only had 6 in 2020, ends up with 17 in 2021. Hit 17 a couple times, 19 a couple times, but in essentially only 3 seasons of his 22-year NFL, 22-year MLB career, he hit fewer than 20 home runs.
Yeah.
It's doable.
It's doable.
But again, you need that longevity. And this is still an era that I think prioritizes the home run.
Yeah.
So
I think stadiums too are very, because baseball has to, you're right, Austin. Baseball has to figure out a way.
Mm-hmm.
Their numbers are sliding. You know, their viewerships is going down.
Mm-hmm.
They have to figure out a way to make it sexy.
Have to.
And fun and exciting.
What was so good for baseball in the late 90s?
The run that, McGuire and Sosa had. That run made it just, people were too, like, I have to watch the game tonight, see which one of those guys is going to do.
Yeah.
This is also an era of time when ESPN was hot. Like, people would wait up all night to figure out what happened on the day. I just don't think they're the same. I don't think they're that major media is like it was back in the day.
No.
Where guys are just literally just honed in as to what the top of the news is going to be for the day on those type of issues, where they're just glued to the TV. It's not the same.
No. I don't know if anyone currently playing gets 700. Running through the options, Pete Alonso, not sold. Mike Trout, I think, is tailing off. Had an outside chance at it. I don't think he gets there. Shohei.
Judge.
I'll get Judge. I don't think either.
Yeah.
I think he came up too late.
Yeah.
And he's hurt right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sold on him. Ohtani's going to go to pitching. Ronald Acuna missed a year, which isn't necessarily disqualifying, but I think he's a good power speed blend. It'll happen again at some point. I just don't think they're in the league yet.
I think the way that it happens is how the technology and the way that they're going to try to have to spice it up, either by spicing up the bats. They tried it with the balls. I can't remember the year, but I remember they tried it with the balls. Maybe shortening the stadiums a little bit. They're going to try to figure out a way. So I think that's when that transition happens, and with physicalities nowadays, health, longevity. If you can be consistent, you could probably get there.
You got to shout out our hockey guy, Chase B. I'm surprised you haven't said anything about hockey yet. Wayne Gretzky and his assists.
We was going to say, I was going to get to Wayne Gretzky. Yeah, I think Wayne Gretzky is definitely one of them. We can balance out. We can jump out. We're not stuck on it. But I think another one is going to be like Simone Biles. 19 gold medals. Or I'm sorry, not just gold medals, but just medals.
World championship.
Well, actually, it was world gymnastics gold championships medals. 19.
That's a lot.
Good gosh.
Phelps is 28.
Phelps
8 and 1 Olympics. How?
Yeah.
I mean, what Phelps did in those 8 medals was essentially his Shohei Ohtani performance.
Basically,
insane.
Do you think anybody touches Gino Ariama's and UConn's win streak of 111 games? I don't think that ever happens again.
And they also got
straight?
90 at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I don't think that happens again.
Boston's 8 straight titles.
That'll definitely never happen again.
No.
That was the fortunate of a short, grouping of teams that they benefited. It's just too much parity. It's just like spreading, cream on your bagel. You know what I'm saying? Like back, you can drop the clump, but if you want to you got to spread it. It's spread out right now. It's just not enough parity. I mean, they're finding it tough right now just to freaking keep teams together to make runs, let alone win that many straight. No, there's just no way that goes down. What else you saying? What else you guys talking about?
Mississippi Mud Dog says the home sellout streak is doable. I doubt it happens, but it could be done.
Yeah.
One that I was rooting for getting broken was Pete Maravich's college scoring record. Obviously, what Pistol
I don't
Pete
think that's going to happen. You talking about 40 points a game? That one?
The career.
Or the actual career?
Yeah, career.
Maybe. I listen. His average is not getting touched.
Not touched.
There's no way that's getting touched. That 40-point average? No. Sorry about that. Big Daddy Travis, love you, man. I agree with you. I think podcasts are more fun, more exciting. You can just be more real than probably ESPN. Shout out to them. But anyway, yeah, I just don't think that's getting touched at all.
I was hoping Antoine Davis would break it.
Yeah?
What Pistol Pete did, I mean, without the 3-ball.
Well, guys don't stay long enough.
Right. I mean, Davis, his first season was the 18-19 season.
Yeah.
He just wrapped up last season. I mean, Maravich was.
Oh, you're talking about the young player that's
Detroit Mercy.
Detroit Mercy. Yeah.
I wanted him to do it. I mean, it would have been different because he did it in 5 years, whereas Pistol Pete did it the 67, 68, 68, 69, 69, 70 seasons. He put up 1,200 points a season.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's unstoppable.
Yeah. It took Davis a lot more time. I wanted him to get it, though.
I wish he would have been around. I would have. We've had flashes of what Pete Maravich could have been through like White Chocolate, through Jason Williams, through certain players.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have loved to really just watch him be able to go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
What else is out there?
Those are the ones that I had. Those are the ones I came up with.
Yeah, I think those are good ones. You did mention Ricky Henderson, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
untouchable.
I think that's an untouchable one as well. Well, I want to say this, but in essence, it's tainted. I don't think Lance Armstrong's Tour de France record will be touched either.
No,
even though it's tainted.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that's one that will be, touched in any form. Do you think the NBA record for Golden State will be beaten?
The 73 wins?
I just don't know. I thought the Bulls one was unique, but I just don't know if you can. Again, it's that parity thing. I just don't know if there's enough dominance that can happen.
If the NBA adds games to the season, it might, but it sounds like they're talking about going the other way. So again, possible, but highly improbable. Is that fair?
Okay. Shout out to DP. UFC. We're going to be out in Vegas for the Summer League as well as UFC
Victor Wembanyama League.
Yeah. But will this one ever be touched? Shout out to DP in the UFC. 2-second knockout.
Woo.
That means the minute I came across the octagon, I hit you with a 2-piece chicken wing and you went night-night. Does that happen?
Let's ask him.
Oh, we'll ask him.
We got crossover.
We got crossover coming.
We'll do that. We'll ask DP next.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Specialty product, Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at PremierDW.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A few isolated thunderstorms possible this morning, then becoming sunny and hot, a high of 96. It will feel more like 100, a light north wind at 10. Just a few passing clouds tonight with a low of 70. A chance of scattered thunderstorms tomorrow, still quite warm with an afternoon high of around 93. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Waldo Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our extensive collection of wine, beers, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of their funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carry out, or schedule catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for Fireworks Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, Sunday Family Fun Days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Plant for success with the industry's latest technology. Upgrade to an Exact Emerge high-speed planter to cover more acres, increasing flexibility and productivity. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location to order your new John Deere planter and experience the Landmark difference.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-9462.
If you have concerns about your drinking water, just call Bryant. If your water doesn't look right, smell right, or taste right, Bryant can help. If your water has high levels of iron, Bryant can help. If you're tired of foggy dishes and dingy clothes, Bryant can help. Whatever your home water needs are, Bryant is here with a solution to fit your needs. Be sure about your water. Just call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
The Ticket Water Cooler.
Typically, you kind of think of Nebraska as far as in-state recruiting as might not get the skill position players, but you can pepper in some offensive linemen and maybe a linebacker here and there. This class is led by its in-state skill position players now. I mean, you're thinking down the line, you could 3 or 4 years from now have Daniel Kalen lining up with Davon Holland, Isaiah McMorris, and now Carter Nelson. Those are all your skill positions.
Keeping the highly talented, highly ranked players that are in the state with you at the home state school is a step in the right direction.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and the top.
Strick and Austin and DP for crossover here on the block by Old School. Coming up next, DP. Happy afternoon.
Gentlemen.
DP, good to see you, man.
Gentlemen, good to be seen. Good to be seen.
Listen, here's the one thing I want to say about Mr. Derek Pearson. He's one of the hardest working men in Lincoln, Nebraska. Not only is he just all of the wonderful things that we have going on in preparation for this move, things are happening. The building is up. Things are happening down there in the downtown area. You guys are going to be able to see that really soon. But you're meeting with so many different people in the community. You're working with, foundations, organizations, the Big Red Brunch. I mean, there's just so many things that are going on, and yet you still find time to sit down in front of the mic, not only for Old School, but here on the block on the crossovers. We're appreciative of just the work you and Rebecca and everybody's doing behind the scenes, and the student athletes that, there's so many student athletes here at the University of Nebraska that have aspirations, a little bit of fear, a little bit of apprehension, and yet they'll come in there and sit down with DP, and the next thing you know, just something from within comes out of them. It's just DP gives them a little bit of comfort in the conversation that allows them to be able to become themselves and be themselves, and he provides a platform for them. So I just want to thank you, DP, for the wonderful work you continue to do, not only for us, but also for the kids, the community, as well as the student athletes down there at the University of Nebraska. It's sad that they don't really see it in totality as of yet, but like the illustrious and the poet laureate, the poet laureate, Deion Sanders says, "We coming."
Yeah. Look, I appreciate that, Strick. It's real love. Like, it's real love. You trusted me.
Oh, and also I wouldn't be here.
Right, you trusted.
I'm telling you,
you trusted me, and a lot of that's like in the common relationships that we have, right? So your people know my people know your people. Turns out they're the same people, right? We just didn't know they were the same people. And then you trusted me because I said, listen, here's what I see for you. And that's not necessarily a reality people want to deal with when you tell them what's really real. And to say, listen, man, I know you love in Orlando. Like, there's a lot to love, right? There's a lot of love. But there's a different kind of love from home.
Yeah.
Different kind of love for you. And I've already done that in my life. Like, I already got to go back home and work for my DC teams.
Yeah.
Have that kind of vibe. But now I want to build for other people and to watch you grow in this space, like what you've done with this. And then here's the part that people miss. What you gonna do. What you about to do.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Right? Like what you're about to do and how it's about to be. It brings me Austin, right?
Yeah.
Like Austin's one of my favorite people because they're good people in the world. I literally said that I had 7 meetings today. And in those meetings, the beauty of it is with Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah.
And somebody asked me a question, what are your thoughts? What are your real thoughts on Lincoln? And I said, I love the people of Lincoln, Nebraska.
Pause. Station identification. That's a great pause right there. Love.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Go.
Yeah, like that. The people of Lincoln.
Yeah.
I've been all over the country. So, and I'm drawn to good places, good spaces, good people. I'm just drawn to it. Like I need to be in it. And then it's not only my job and my responsibility, but it's my mission. It's my purpose. It's to make the thing that I approach next better than I found. And that's not to say that there's a whole bunch of stuff needs to be fixed about Lincoln, Nebraska. No, I just want to add to.
Yeah.
I just want to add to.
Yeah.
Right. And man, Ricky Simmons, he's in the office. We make a phone call, and he's got Jeff Kenny on the phone. Now, 10-year-old DP having a moment. 10-year-old DP having a moment because little 10-year-old DP was in Virginia watching the Huskers, and I just wanted to. I'm like, yeah, I want to play football like that dude. Like Johnny Rodgers was my dude until the day that I saw Jeff Kenny's jersey get torn off and have him wave off a dude on the sideline and say, "This is mine. I got this." And I went, "Oh yeah, this is yeah. That's me. That's me. That's me. That's me." And so Lincoln has been welcoming. Phone call today with yesterday with Mike Rozier, day before Irving Fryer, day before, like, you're putting me in spaces that I need to be in to do the things we want to do. The Big Red Breakfast, now Big Red Brunch. And shout out to Ava Thomas, Sherry Dickmeyer from Omaha World Herald Lincoln Journal Star, because Lee Enterprises allowed the ticket, little tiny baby ticket, right, to come in and grow in that space and to set up some deals. And I'm just telling you, if you haven't made your plans for the Big Red Brunch, whether it's the golf event on August 4th or the first brunch August 24th, right? August 24th, it's Coach Tom Osborne and Trev Alberts at the brunch. We're going to broadcast the whole thing. We're going to stream the whole thing, right? You want to play golf with the big boys? August 9th. You go. I mean, look, it's done. Then to tell you over the course of the thing, I said, if I'm going to do it, and y'all know me well enough, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it big, right? And I want to think about it differently. So imagine this and go with me on this journey. 1 week, week one, it's the legendary Coach Tom Osborne. It'll be Trev Alberts and other assorted guests.
You still need to write that book for him.
Right. Oh, we say that again.
You still need to write that book for
right,
Coach Osborne.
Right.
I really believe that.
2024. I'm going to happen or I'm going to stomp it. Week two, we're going to celebrate the 1997 championship Huskers.
That's beautiful.
Week three, think we done enough? No. Let's get the triplets and celebrate the 40th anniversary of maybe the greatest offense we ever saw, with Mike Rozier, Irving Fryer, and Turner Gill, plus Ricky Simmons. So we gonna have that's one.
Yeah.
The following week, you know what we need to do? Just for grins and giggles. Let's celebrate the 1994 championship team. The week after that, there's another championship team you got to get to. Oh, let's go 90. Let's get that group in. And then, hey, how about we get the original pipeline again?
Ooh.
And let Husker fans have access to all of this. Plus, so the brunches are
the original pipeline is
right.
That's beautiful.
Nasty. Well, look, shout out to Vershawn Jackson for having the idea and the concept and putting it together. Here's what happens when you put talent in pools. More talent accumulates and the standard rises. Right? That Vershawn, Bill Bush, Sipple, Jake has elevated his game.
Even Kenny came in and came out of a shell.
Right. Cluster.
Yeah, Class is coming.
Amon Green, Adam Carricker. And I have to tell you, I'm not done.
Yeah.
Because Husker fans deserve access to their heroes in a new and different, unique way, authentic way, where it's not just a one-off handshake, hey, picture, boom, I'm out the door, but to get to know them on a real level and then to have them share the stories that everybody loves in the same place, in the same way, right? We in pocket, you're lining up with Fred Hoiberg, Eric Strickland, Bernard Day, and maybe somebody else that we can pull in. I don't know, say Tony Farmer, to have them come in and do the big, and then expand that just from football season into basketball season with the same type of events and the same type of access and the same type of story. I have to tell you, down at the new location today, the drywall went up. Fanboy. Wow. Yes. Celebrate.
Yeah.
Had lunch with Tom Stevens, Mike Melvin. So much love and so many good ideas, so much good stuff. Met with the folks from Junior Achievement, folks from Malone Center. Like, I'm just telling you, Lincoln is just filled with really good-hearted people. By the way, Junior Achievement, happy birthday, Tony Roop. I am not going to miss you. Shout out to you. Happy birthday. I know it's your 21st birthday and you're going to act funny, but hey, go and enjoy yourself in the right way. We also have, and I'm just telling you, I'm stalking some new programs that will also change the game. Some big names. You know, so, and then there are more ideas. So listen, thank you, Lincoln, Nebraska. Thank you so much for welcoming me my wife, my friends, my vision, my dreams, and then my investment.
Beautiful. I've got to say this, DP. Like once Austin, like it was beautiful to watch Austin kind of come in, and even himself, like he's on a whole nother level, like grew like a freaking like a bonsai tree that got trimmed and is just set its roots and is taken off. But but even for me, like not only the expansion of myself in this realm, like I can talk and I can get into space and I don't have a problem with that. But this was like, I was real tentative about stepping into this realm, but even it's expanded, and that's what you've given us space for. And so I'm done with it, and that's where we're gonna set it. But I just sat down with AD.
Yep.
And I'm gonna be talking and working on, you know, going and speaking and, you know, doing all the similar type of stuff all over the country, because that's what you've done. Because people don't even understand too that the reach goes outside of Lincoln. There's not a lot of people that can say they have total access for the UFC. Let's just be real about that. Now, let's just stop the cap. We ain't just talking just red only. To be able to have that kind of access in the UFC, it usually comes with a big bag, but because of the relationships and the thing that DP has done, this is the stuff that he's able to bring with him to us, and that's what I'm grateful for.
Well, I mean, but this incredible roster allows me to do that because I have absolute trust, and I can leave the ship, and y'all will handle it, and the standard doesn't go down, and all of these things. But the coach in me is what lets me just publicly root for everybody that works in this space. It's like, here's the thing: I don't have venom for people in this space, and that's rare because everybody's been helpful for the folks from Kiwanis and Boys and Girls Club, teammates.
They come in with ideas all the time.
Right. Just to come in and say, listen, please come in. And there's so many great stories to tell. Liba, Bud Sindhorst, the folks from Lincoln Commerce, Derek and company. We get so much information, but it's all good energy based, which means that I can continually say yes to ideas and concepts, because they're not only good for them and good for us, but good for everybody. And you can't underscore it enough that this station for me, first of all, I'm blessed. I'm lucky enough that good people recognize they want to be here. This station is only as good as the people that run it and work in it. And I said it last night on social media, and I say it once a week or so just to remind people. This roster, man, I love this roster, and I love the I don't call them listeners anymore. They're ticket
family.
They're ticket family. We have the best. They show up. They rally.
Facts.
They post
engage.
From every one of our sponsors.
When we're remote, they come in the building,
right? And I have to say that from going forward, that the month of August will be ticket sponsor appreciation, where everybody that sponsors a show is going to get their own time for them to come in and say, we get to say thank you, for them to explain to people who they are, because no matter how good we are at storytelling, nobody can tell their business
like their own
mission like their own. We're going to do that. We'll have some fan base appreciation stuff as well. But yeah, I love what's happened. I love what's happening. I love what's gonna happen. Wifey's working on your trip to Vegas right now, and we had to notify the authorities that you, myself, and Rico will be in Vegas at the same time. So we've notified the authorities in advance that we'll do some UFC.
Trouble. Close your mouth.
Trouble. We're gonna do that. NBA Summer League.
Summer League will be there. Wimbayamba.
Yeah. UFC International Fight Week. That'll be in town. So that'll be, and then Slap Fight Friday night.
Oh
Friday night,
no!
Yeah,
slapping the taste out their mouth.
Yeah,
those are hilarious.
So we get to break bread away from the norm and grow together. So Strick, thank you, Austin, thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Listen, DP broke it down. Austin, what you got to say on the way out the door?
Thank you.
Yeah, we're so grateful. Well, that is another segment here. It is Hump Wednesday here on the block, 2 to 4. We'll be back tomorrow because guess what tomorrow is? Thursday. Yes. Thirsty Thursday on tomorrow. It is hot outside, folks. Take care of yourself. Be careful. Stay hydrated. We'll be back tomorrow. Old school will take over right this. But we're grateful again for 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, as well as Sutter Heyman text line, Allo VIP line. We're grateful for it all. But we'll see you tomorrow, 2 to 4 on the block. We're out.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-9462.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and our big summer sales event is underway this month. Right now, get 0.9% interest rates. Yes, you heard right. 0.9% APR on select new Chevrolet and GMC vehicles, plus a $1,500 trade-in bonus on select Silverados and Sierras. You put all that together with some big Coppell discounts, and you have a tremendous buying experience. So stop on into the dealership or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Plant for success with the industry's latest technology. Upgrade to an ExactEmerge high-speed planter to cover more acres, increasing flexibility and productivity. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location to order your new John Deere planter and experience the Landmark difference.
Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of their funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carry out, or schedule catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steak and burgers and local style offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons. Stop in Butchery by Venue today.